welcome to my first YouTube video here on my baking channel. My name is Anne and I love to share my favorite sourdough recipes, and I especially wanted to dedicate this first video here to my favorite recipes, which is of course normal sourdough bread, dinner rolls and some other recipes I would like to try for the first time. So we're spicing things up a little bit. And this weekend I'm going to take you along to Saturday night discard pizza, which we are going to prep in a second. And we're also going to prep the bread we're going to bake tomorrow. Tomorrow we're also going to have our favorite dinner rolls. They are pumpkin cinnamon swirl. We have these all year long. It's really a recipe we love. And we're also going to have some cookies. I'm always struggling a little bit with cookies, so maybe you can help me out tomorrow. But for tonight we are having pizza, and it's actually a really simple recipe. So I would say we're just going to start along. This is going to be a sourdough discard pizza, and everything we need is just a pan, you can choose whatever you would like, and a sourdough discard. I'm just going to go ahead and spread that discard. And the plan for tonight is a planche pizza, so it's a white sauce with cream fraiche and mozzarella, also parmesan, and a truffle pesto, which we're going to spread on top. Okay, I think that'll be enough. Just simple as that. Okay, let's hope for the best. I'm very excited how it turns out. So the recipe says 10 minutes, and then you put on your toppings, whatever you like, and then you put it into the oven for another 10 minutes. And in the meantime, I would like to prep something for the bread tomorrow. So we are going to have a normal sourdough with poppy seed, one, and the other one is going to be a tiger paste. It's actually just a salt and pepper oil paste mixed with some cornstarch, and I'm trying to make it from scratch. And everything we need is going to be 40 grams of oil, and I'm going to mix it with 4 grams of salt and 4 grams of pepper. And now, which makes it a paste, is the cornstarch, which is 8 grams. And now I'm just going to mix it up. Okay, now this is the paste. It's actually quite fluid. So, okay, it's still it's just liquid. And we're going to put that into the fridge, and we'll see whether it thickens out until tomorrow, or if not, we just have to make it from scratch tomorrow, but I think it will be fine. Okay, so the next thing is to prep our dough. It looks super bubbly. I always try to set myself some new goals so I evolve my baking. So my goal for March will be to increase my hydration to 80%. Just trying that, and well, we'll see how that one turns out. The pizza looks interesting. I would guess that it might take a little longer than 10 minutes. It doesn't look too well done because maybe it's just a little thicker, on the thicker side. So if you're new to sourdough and you don't know which utensils you really need, well, you can tell right now the most important thing is obviously a big bowl, because you're going to bake a lot of bread. Just getting that baby out. This thing is super convenient to scratch out the dough out of the bowl. I don't know So I think you could also do it with a spoon or by hand, but if the dough is really sticky, these come very, very handy. And a bench scraper. You really need that in order to handle the dough. Okay, the time has come. All right, now very crucial moment has come. I'm trying to get that thing out of the pan. We are able to get it out. Yes, okay. I think the crust could have been crispier, and I could have baked that a little longer, or if you use less discard, I used quite a lot, then maybe the crust will be a little bit thinner and crispier, but super easy, and the pizza topping smells scrumptious. Wow. So the perks of being the baker, you can always taste test first. And I'm going to have this beautiful piece here. Wow. It's super thick. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna try it. It's super good, and also I thought the crust would be not crisp enough, but it's actually really, really fluffy. So if you wait for 5 minutes after you bake it, because it's really, really hot, it gets a super nice and fluffy crust. So I would do this again, and it's so easy. You should definitely try this when you have discard left. So we are going to have our dinner right now, and we're going to see you in the morning when we're going to bake our breads and also prepare the dinner rolls. Very excited about those. It's going to be a scrumptious Sunday tomorrow. Have a good night. Hello, hello from the next morning. This morning we are kicking it off with the dinner rolls because they need some time. They will get super, super fluffy, so we will have to give them some time. I'm currently preheating the oven for the bread, and I already prepped some stuff here. I prepared some pumpkin puree last night, and everything we need is the butter, which is melting right now. Actually already done, and we are starting with the sourdough starter. It's 200 grams, so quite a lot. I think it makes them extra fluffy. So I'm just mixing all the ingredients. There's no right order, just the wet ones first and then the dry ones. If I make normal dinner rolls, I will have 240 grams of warm milk, but I'm just replacing it with the pumpkin puree. So the normal dinner roll recipe opts for sugar, but we are going to have some maple syrup instead. I think it matches very well with the pumpkin flavors. We are also having some salt, 1 egg. And also, this is the easiest recipe ever. I think they always worked out. I've never tried them, and they didn't work out in the end. So super easy, also not very much effort. Just mix all the ingredients, then let it rest the dough for 30 minutes and then mix it with a hand mixer, and then you just have to shape them in the afternoon. So super easy. I love that recipe. It's super quick, and honestly I've never met anyone who doesn't love them. We're adding the butter. And now the final ingredients, just flour. 450 grams of normal bread flour. All right, I was talking about which utensils you need. Maybe you recognize that I don't use a dough whisk. Maybe you've seen that somewhere else. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I'm breaking every dough whisk because my dough is always so sticky and it just falls apart every time. I used 2 different sort of dough whisk and they broke immediately after maybe a week or so. So I gave that up and I'm just using the applicator of my hand mixer. The dough is ready. And now we're going to let it sit for 30 more minutes. And I think we can already prepare the first bread, which is going to be the poppy seed bread. And what I'm going to do is to have a new scoring method. I always used to score the bread before baking, but last time I scored my bread 5 minutes after it had already baked in the oven. Then I put it out and I scored it, and I think the oven spring was more intense, so we are going to do that again. I did it after 5 minutes last time, and today we're going to do it after 7 minutes. It should be even better, so we are excited to try that one out. What I would recommend though, I baked without those, well, baking mats all the time, all the years, but I think they are very convenient. I just use regular baking paper, and of course I have to throw it away. So this is reusable, and it's super easy to get the dough out of the Dutch oven and into the Dutch oven. I set the timer for 35 minutes, and this would be the perfect time to make tea. Seven minutes are up, and now it's time for scoring. Wow, that baby's already getting huge. So we're just going to... I wanted to talk about another utensil you probably need for scoring. This is very important because you need something very sharp, which is usually a razor blade. And I used to use a different utensil, so a rather round one where I just put the razor blade on top of it. And this is how I sliced my finger open, which is why I don't use it anymore, and I just had to throw it away this morning because it gives me too much anxiety and is very dangerous. So keep that in mind. The moment of truth has come, and now we are removing the lid and let the bread bake for 10 more minutes. And this is always the moment when you can tell if the bread gets beautiful or just tasty. And now we are going to see how it looks. Wow. Okay. I think it will be beautiful. It's definitely very huge and beautiful. I couldn't really tell how the oven spring went, but I think it's pretty good. Okay, so it's still hiding, but I think I can already tell it's going to be beautiful. Now we're preparing the second bread with the pepper paste. And we are not using the whole paste because when we cut the bread open, the dough will split up, and so there will be a lot of part in the middle where no paste is. Now we are going to brush our dough. It's not too fluid, which is very nice, so it will be very sticky. Oh, okay, so the poppy seed bread is done. Excited how it will turn out. Wow. Okay, it's definitely a beauty. Yes, look at that. We're gonna pop the other one in real quick, and then we can have a closer look. Wow, it's definitely super pretty. Look at that one. Okay, let's see the bottom. Wow, nice and crispy. Alright, the time is up. Now we have to get our babies out of the oven. It looks super good. After I brushed the rest of the bread with the rest of the paste, you could tell how the oil boiled a little bit. Super yummy. Wow, it looks so good. Wow. Okay, I think it will be too hot to present, but wow, okay, the bottom is a little oily, but we love that. Yes, and now to the top. It looks so good. Wow, I'm super excited to cut into it, but of course we're gonna have to wait for a bit. And I think it's a bit firm because of the oil. I think the crust is very crunchy. We are going to wait, but for now we are going to use the rest of the heat for our cookies, which I think I talked about yesterday. This was an experiment, and I know, so I like my cookies very soft and gooey, and I tried the Uber white chocolate cookies. I prepared them, I think 2 weeks ago, and I just like to keep them in my freezer, which is super convenient if you have guests around and you would like to have a super quick, homemade, delicious snack. Yeah, you could just pull them out and bake them. And so my cookie problem is that I can never bake them just how I like them. So I like them if they're not too Subway style, so not too flattened out, rather firm, so and a little bit gooey. And I still don't know how I made my first batch of cookies, because it was just like that and perfect, and I don't know how. Maybe you have some tips. I did a lot of research, but yeah, they just don't do what I would like to do. But anyways, they are super tasty. I tried them already, and they look super cute, purple. And yeah, we're just going to place them on our baking tray. So the thing with ube, I think it's a bit dry, which is why they won't flatten out too much. So they rather like a rock. But we will see. I tried baking them now for the 3rd time, always with different oven temperatures, and now the oven is still pretty warm, but I think it's quite okay because they are freezed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put them into the oven. Let's see. I'm curious. Yeah, please drop in the comments if you have any recommendations for making cookies not too flat, but rather thicker, but not too overbaked, not hard, gooey. Yes, that's it. Okay, we're gonna put them back into our freezer, so we have them for our next, I don't know, cookie mood day. So, moment of truth. I mean, I monitored them and they are, of course, not as perfect as I wish them to be, but I think they are good enough. They are not purple anymore, they are brown, but they smell so good, and I know they are super scrumptious. Now what we're going to do is the most exciting part about sourdough bread baking. It's the slicing part, and I'm curious how these babies look. We're going to start with the poppy seed bread. What you do need in terms of utensil, you need a very sharp bread knife because the crust is always very crispy. Wow, super fluffy. It's almost like it's fried. Super soft. Hello, welcome back. It's the afternoon. It's 2:15 and the dough is ready. It's super fluffy. And meanwhile, I prepared just a brown sugar, cinnamon, pumpkin spice mixture, which we are going to incorporate into our dinner rolls. And now we are just going to shape the rolls so they can rise until this evening. And what I always like to do is to measure the pieces. So these will make 16, and I will measure the pieces so that there will be 16 equal size. Not all the time if I'm lazy or I don't have time. It's okay if some of those are of different size. I think it's prettier if they are in the same size. So, pre-cut 16 pieces. Alright, now we have our 16 little rolls. I'm excited how they will pop up even more later. We're going to wait for around 3 hours until we bake them, and yes, I'm excited for dinner. Oh, we are ready to bake them. Dinner is almost done, and they are looking so puffy, really nice. Okay, and the last and final step will now be to brush them with a little bit of egg white. And then we're going to pop them into the oven for approximately 25 minutes. And I think in the meantime, I'm going to prepare dinner, so we will have that ready at the same time. And for the finish, as I already mentioned, I will brush them with a little bit of butter and sprinkle the rest of the sugar, cinnamon mixture on top. Let's get them into the oven. The oven is running hot today. So, time for our final step. They are almost done. They look so good. Now we're coating those babies with a little bit of butter. And the final step is now to just add a little bit of sugar so it can caramelize almost in the oven. And we're going to bake that just for a couple of more minutes. Wow. Scrumptious. So here are those babies. They look so good, and they are so fluffy. I'm really excited about this dinner. But yeah, this marks the end of our Baking With Me weekend. I had so much fun baking my favorite recipes. I hope you had it too. Please let me know which one of these recipes would you bake, and what are your favorite sourdough recipes? I'm always open for new ideas. But yeah, sourdough bread, dinner rolls, cookies, these are truly my favorite ones. And I'm very excited to share this recipe for the cinnamon swirl dinner rolls on my Instagram. So this is where I share all my recipes. Follow along if you'd like to have any recipe of those. And I also share the process. So if you're interested in how to make them step by step, this is the place to go. Thank you very much for tuning in and staying with me until this very evening. I'm so excited to finally eat them. And yeah, I see you in the next one.